All right, we're to number 9, and this one is business email compromise, often referred to as BEC. This is one of the most effective ways that the bad actors are really getting into our networks, and they're able to really be able to mine data from us. And here's how it works. Okay, let's say that you're the average business person. You have over 140 different accounts that you have to log into. That could be your Facebook account, that could be your 401k, that could be the business applications, your QuickBooks Online, it could be your email, it could be your Microsoft 365, it could be just on and on and on. And the average person has 140 unique accounts. Well, if you're following best practice on password complexity, it's 12 characters, and they got to have a cap, a number, and a special symbol. Well, I don't know about you, but I can't remember probably one of those. I mean, really, much less 140. So you really need a tool like LastPass or 1Password or something like that that manages those for you. That's be another subject. But what happens is you use the same one over and over. And then you go out and you buy a pair of shoes online, you use the same username, your email, and the same password that you use to log into your Microsoft 365 with. Well, the bad actors know when they see a dark web where that email, that shoe store got hacked online. They probably, a lot of times they don't even tell anybody that it's happened. It just leaks out. And now all of a sudden they got your username and they got your password, because your username is your email. Everybody knows that. And they have now your password that you use everywhere. And then they have scripts that run, and they'll target Microsoft 365 for business, because most business owners have moved to that product to manage their email. And they got you. And they're going to sit on top of your email, and they're going to watch it, and they're going to figure out ways to exploit you. And eventually they're going to see even if it's something with an ACH where you're getting funds directly drafted from your checking account, they're going to capture that information. Then they're going to set up ways to extract money from you. Or they're going to have it to where you're paying the wrong vendor. You're paying the bad guys whenever the vendor requests that. They're just going to watch it when they send a request form over. They're going to get in the middle of it, and they're going to change the routing numbers, and you're going to be sending money to the bad guys. And 90 days later, when that vendor calls you up and says, "Hey, why ain't you paying me?" You're going to say, "Oh, I've been paying you. Let me pull the records." And you're going to look at the routing number, and it's actually going to John Q. Bad Guy. Business email compromise, the easiest and best solution, and I swear I beat my head up against the wall with business owners every day because they don't want to do this, is multi-factor authentication. And that's simply where when you go to log into your email, most people are checking it in Outlook. It's not as bad as you think. The first time you set it up, you got to put in that multi-factor. From there on, you don't have to. And the same way with your phone. The first time you set it up on your phone, you have to do it. It's the web where you're most vulnerable, because these bad actors are overseas, and they know your username, your email address, and your password, and they're sitting in Russia just watching your email traffic. Multi-factor would require them to put in a code. When we're dealing with multi-factor, there's 3 different levels of ways in general that they do it. Number 1 is email. You really don't want to do that, because if they have access to your email, they also have access to the code when it emails it to you. Number 2 is texting, much better. But the third way is with the app, like the Microsoft Authenticator or the Google Authenticator, or there's a product called Duo that we use. It's by Cisco. Very good, and they're pretty much universal. You can use any one of them across the platform, not just for the Microsoft 365, but for your bank and all the other places that you actually need to have that multi-factor. When you have the app, without that phone or without that little key fob, they can have your username and password, but they can't get in. So multi-factor authentication is the number 1 easiest way in order to protect yourself from the number 1 way that the bad actors get us, and that's through business email compromise.